We're over an hour in, and this is the first we're starting the show. Not only that, we were talking about naps. We're going to continue talking about it with Jay, Lauri, Joe on the T. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time of day it is where you are. We are glad you joined us today. I don't know why I really like that old intro from Daniel and Adam used to have a show called Dubious Intent, and that was what Daniel said when he opened the show. And we all know Lauri loves Daniel Brewer.
Ugh, barf.
Anyway, speaking of, we are here. We're queer. We're all sort of based in LA. First, from Mar Vista, California. She's the treetop with no bottom. It's the one only Miss Lorian K. Roggenkamp. Hello, Lorian.
Hey, it's Daniel Brewer. I'm going to tell a racist joke that makes no sense and isn't actually a joke.
Does Daniel Brewer have a southern accent, Jay?
I don't know. I was doing a mix of Adam and Daniel.
Oh.
Both very unfunny people.
Daniel Burns, Adam Brewer. Yeah, Lauri has a big fucking problem with, like, she has a problem. Here's what's funny.
Came in hot.
She has a problem with Daniel and Adam, but strangely, I think more than all of them, she said, combined, she hates Mark, Adam's boyfriend.
Mark is the worst. Mark is literally every story Adam tells about Mark, I'm like, leave him. You need to leave him. He is a terrible person.
Let's bring in from the Burbank, Pasadena area, Glendale area, by the Americana brand. It's our very own Jay Ellis. Hello, Jay.
Good morning. In the news this morning. Good morning. Have you ever seen that clip of the newscaster who can't land on a greeting? Your intro reminded me of that. Daniel Brewer is the reason I'm involved in Afterthought.
Yeah, it's the reason Jay and I know each other.
Yeah.
No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Daniel used to listen and watch all the Drag Race shows, and he was thirsting over this fucking Jay Ellis. And if I could be remembering the facts here wrong, Jay, but he wanted you on a recap, so I needed to give you a microphone because we were both in LA.
I kind of remember. Okay, this was 2016 because I remember that was my first year on Drag Race, and there was a listener named Bryce something. Bryce? I was thinking Bryce Dallas Howard, but that's my personal friend, not somebody who listens to the show.
And the Howards, your the family friends.
We do, we do ski together in the off-race ski. No,
in Gerstadt.
I want to say that he tagged both of us in a Twitter thing, and was Donna Sugar doing no, it was Taylor, and Taylor was going to be missing an episode, and it was the Wizards of Drag, where they got to do makeovers with the Little Women of LA, and you had to meet me to get. Oh yeah, I remember this. We were meeting at the ArcLight because you needed to give me a mic because I would always go to studio and I didn't have any type of podcasting equipment. So I met Joe in person.
My cousin, actually.
You were with Richard, yeah. And so I met you guys both at the same time. I don't remember what you were seeing. And then you gave me the mic, and then I went on the show, and then I think I did a couple more things throughout season 8 or 9. I don't remember what. Yeah.
And then Jay and I became friends. I think we actually started to become friends when we met at Roosterfish.
Oh, you were smoking. You were a smoker at that point.
That's why I still used to smoke. Well, And I was still out smoking, and you were telling at the time you met Paul, but you were dating some other guy who looked like Aladdin.
Jason. Yeah. Oh man. And you met me like right at the end of my messy 20s. I cannot believe that it feels like a totally different time. I was a different person.
And I was in the middle of or towards the end of Cameron.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. And I remember that I met Jason at the farmer's market in Mar Vista. I don't know if they still run it, but it was right by the laundromat and the library down there off of Venice Boulevard and Grandview, I want to say, were the streets. And I remember looking across the way and being like, he looks like Aladdin, like full on this, like my dream come true. Mm-hmm. And I went over and just started talking to him. And I was
took one jump ahead of the bread line.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, what a memory.
Yeah. Anyway, but before the show started, we were talking about naps. And Lauri, well, first of all, Jay, Jay locks his bed up as soon as he wakes up.
It's a Murphy mattress that I push up into the wall.
Mattress, and he puts it up, and there's a timer. Doesn't even let it come down till night.
And he has a key thing that he goes boop, boop.
Yeah.
He clicks it.
Yeah.
And Lauri said if she doesn't take a nap that's less than 3 hours, it's a waste of a nap. I'm kind of like the mama bear, and then I'm in the middle.
And you're also larger than both.
I don't take naps often, actually.
Why is that the mama bear? I feel like any of the bears could have been that. Why mama? Yes, mama.
Wasn't it the mama bear who was just right?
Well, when I'm with my friends, I do say yes, mama bear.
Oh, was it the baby bear who's just right?
No, it was.
Are you talking about porridge or naps?
Goldilocks.
Both. Anyway, the point is,
Joe's a bear.
The point is I'm a bear. No, what I'm trying to say is that I don't take naps often, as I said. It's only when I've had successive nights of no sleep and I have to catch up, but it's never more than 90 minutes, ever. I told Lauri if I did 3 or 4 hours, I'd go to the hospital. So but I was going to say is I'm actually closer to Jay. I generally am in my office most of the day. It's very unusual for you to find me on my bed during the day. Or even really apart from sitting at my desk, sitting down. I actually walk around quite a bit, but mostly because of my ADHD. But what's your relationship with naps, Jay? You just don't take naps, right?
I don't. I know that they're actually recommended, and I was going to talk about my tarot reading. My psychic was saying that I need to practice my meditation again because she goes, it's going to be healthy for you to start doing meditation and manifesting. So I am. I don't think that's going to lead to naps.
Everything about what you just said is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I know.
Oh, God.
And I'm so excited
Jay,
to go deeper in.
You know where I fall on this. So
we're into the woo woo. But I don't know. I don't think it'll lead to naps, but I do plan on just taking a break and trying to shut my mind down a little bit because it is racing constantly. But to lay horizontally on a bed in the middle of the day, I cannot do that.
Lauri?
I feel like I have outside on me. Does that make sense? I wouldn't want to do that. I shower at night and I feel clean getting into my bed. But if I lay down after,
but then you have clothes that you wear specifically. As soon as I get home, I take off my pants.
Yeah, we've seen.
I change my
Lauri,
shirt.
that's just you. Also, when you get to school, when you get to the grocery store.
I change my. I mean, it's a constant issue because Star will come home and she'll be like, "You want to go walking?" And I'm like, "I've taken off my pants. I'm not going to put them back on."
Of course I do.
Yeah.
It's never stopped me. But Lauri loves a bottomless brunch because she misinterprets.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times. Yeah, the Abbey had to kick me out. They're like, "We've told you it's bottomless mimosas, not your bottomless."
Yeah,
drinking mimosas.
I do have indoor clothes that I immediately switch into when I walk into the house, but it still feels like
I'm not an animal. I'm not jumping on my bed with
he rips
my
his sleeves
clothes.
off. When he gets home, Jay just takes his sleeves off.
Yeah, I go from my nice tank top to my cozy tank top.
Yeah.
You have those pants. Do you ever see those straight guys wear those pants where they can unzip and the pant leg and then it turns into shorts?
All I wanted in third or fourth grade were those pants, and I got a pair, never once unzipped. I don't know what I was thinking. Thought I was straight.
I got a pair of those, and it was every single time I tried to zip it up, my skin got caught in a zipper. So I just had to.
Why are we doing it on your body? I guess you could.
Yeah, I would take them off.
Wait, I was gonna make fun of you, Lauri, but I don't know if I've talked about this that much on the air. But okay, so I've said on the show multiple other times that I'm not circumcised, right?
Yes.
It's constantly coming up.
How uncircumcised are you?
I have
That's
a story.
actually a good question.
It's funny you say that. I have a story about circumcision. So, yes.
Feeling left out here.
But the actual truth is I'm mostly uncircumcised. And what I mean is when I was 5 years old, I don't know how I did it when I was trying, I don't know, it was at preschool. I got my foreskin caught in my zipper. And
oh my God.
They had to take me to the hospital. They couldn't undo it.
Became three skin.
Yeah.
You had zippers on your clothes at age 5? I feel like I was still wearing
I'm not 150 years old. You didn't just have buttons on your...
No, but I'm saying, I
Do you
mean,
think-
I was
do you
in
think
like,
I was wearing like lederhosen or something like that. And I
You
was
weren't
like,
sewn into your clothes.
Yeah.
no, but like,
you didn't just wear a potato sack in a barrel?
and this speaks to me as an adult, but I feel like I barely like having zippers and buttons on my clothes these days. Like I'm in basically athletics.
I see what you're saying. Girl, this is the 70s or early 80s, actually, by this point. Yeah. It's the early 80s, right?
Yeah.
I saw my car seat.
I love how he was like, I'm not that old, and then later on was like, no, I am that old. I am like we did not have athletics.
Wait, hold on. In the early
athletics.
80s, I've seen my car seat. My car seat is literally just a chair, with like a seat belt going through some of the holes.
It's what you
so
use now
unsafe.
to record, but without the seatbelt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so unsafe, right? So anyway, I have. What's funny is it must have been very impressionable, obviously, because I have like fleeting images of this. But my mom's talked about this, and it does sound horrific if you're a mother. I wasn't in any pain going to the hospital, and so what they did was they had to put me on a gurney, and they needed to basically take that off. Why they didn't just fully circumcise me, I don't know. So what they did was they put me on the gurney, and then they taped me from like foot to like neck. They taped me down except for my schwanz sticking up in the middle of the tape. And as a little kid, not knowing what was going to happen, I was like laughing and going, "Look, mommy, I'm a mummy," And then they
Put on Monster
wheeled me-
Mash.
Yeah, they wheeled
Yeah.
me into the room,
Uh-huh.
and my mom could just hear me like screaming.
Oh my God.
Oh,
And
my
she said it was
gosh.
just awful, because she knew. She was even crying then when I said that because she knew what was coming. Yeah, she did.
Aw.
And so, that's a really gross joke to make. I don't know why I even made it. And then, so I am still uncircumcised, but I don't have as much skin as your typical uncircumcised person. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad how many years have you been doing this podcasting thing? And I don't think that story's touched the waves.
I feel like it has, but I don't remember where it has.
Okay.
The true afterthought experts, will tell you like in season 4 of this, you mentioned this story,
Right.
Now,
Now, do you have
anyway.
anything that's translated into your adulthood that has to do with being strapped to a bed or like any phobias or maybe kinks?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Seems impressionable.
Jay, what's been going on with you?
Well, as mentioned, I saw my psychic. Her name is Pam. Lauri's going to love this whole story. Okay, so my best friend from high school, we've been friends longer. We've known each other longer than we haven't, which is just a shock to think about. But for her birthday's coming up tomorrow, actually, and I said, as an early gift, I'd love to get you another reading with Pam. But the way that this woman she used to be at House of Intuition in Silver Lake, but has since pandemic gone to just doing Zoom meetings, which I was skeptical about at first, but it really was a great experience. And I said, why don't you come over? We'll get a Zoom link and we'll each do a 30-minute reading and we'll grab lunch and just like celebrate your birthday. And so my friend Sam goes, yeah, that sounds fantastic. So day of, it was a rainy Monday. I don't know if you guys remember, but last week, super pouring rain. And I said, I have essentially the whole like afternoon before she gets here at noon, or the whole morning before she gets here at noon. I need to go to the store, get gas in my car because I was going to be driving out to Palm Springs the next day. And something else, I forget. Drop off stuff at the library. I had a bunch of books to return. So
How come she didn't know all this stuff? Why couldn't she have told you your schedule?
I hadn't seen her
She's
yet,
psychic.
so I'm sure she did. I hadn't. My
Wait, hold on
Got
for a second. Hold on. I'm going to sort of defend. We went to a tarot card reader, right?
tarot reader, yeah.
Okay. From everything.
Oh, it's different. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
From
never mind.
everything I've
Sorry.
read about tarot cards, this is what I've read, right? And this is kind of how I see it as well, right? And I actually have a even less believey kind of version of it too. Is the tarot cards don't tell you your future. They just tell you this is what it looks like will happen if you don't make certain changes. They're not set in stone. Okay.
It's a guide.
Okay.
She always says my guides.
It's a guide. Yeah. I personally
Got it.
see it as, I don't even see it in terms of that. I see it as you have a problem and sometimes you need a way to think outside the box. And so the tarot cards, I don't think that there's like some unseen hand of fate that's picking the cards. I just think they open up questions in my mind that I wouldn't have usually thought about. And I don't mean in any kind of supernatural way. It's just almost, if you just had a card of questions, a deck of questions, that's
Okay.
how I kind of see it. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Jay, go ahead.
Got it.
So Sam was getting here at around noon, and I was out and about, and the first thing I did is there's a gas station right by me, so I go, that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I get to the gas station and do my credit card, the whole thing. As I pick the grade of gas I'm going to get, I pull the handle out, and the person before me or whatever had locked the handle with the thing that holds the gas. You know when you put the nozzle into the tank and then you flip the switch so that it holds the thing so you don't have to hold this handle the whole time? Was locked in. So when I pulled, without knowing, I pulled the handle out and it gas all over my entire body. Like filled, smells like gas, and I quickly like am able to get the handle, click it off, but I'm covered.
It makes me think of what was that Ben Stiller movie with
Zoolander.
the model?
Oh yeah, Zoolander. yeah, that's how I felt.
Oh man, that sucks.
Immediately, it's like Final Destination, where I look across the street, and a man smoking a cigarette, a kid's playing with a lighter.
Yeah.
Like I'm afraid that somebody's going to launch like a spark at me, and I'm going to go up in flames. Well, in the trunk of my car, my mom, this is a weird thing, but gives you an insight of my mom, said always keep a pair of like some clothing in your trunk in case you ever need to change out to something. So I have a spare set of, I always put my old gym shoes in my trunk with a pair of socks, a hat, a t-shirt, and jeans. Just like things that I won't wear anymore. So I changed into them, but the clothes are sopping in gasoline. So I'm like, do I throw these away or can they be washed? And so I'm like, fuck, like and I was wearing like a cute outfit, like if I say so myself. What is this music? I feel so epic. So I ultimately, I changed in my car at the gas station and I just tossed my clothes because I said, there's no way I'm even going to want to put these in my washer machine and have the idea of gas being spread throughout the rest of my clothes. So I just, unlike Lauri, I was willing to part with my clothes. And my gym shoes.
That's always the worst.
You know, and my gym shoes were brand new from Christmas. I thought about keeping them, but I was like, I'm just going to replace them. I just don't want to deal with, I don't know how long gas can stay in clothes, and I don't want to.
I think I would be the same way if that happened. And
do you?
I've had instances where I've had to throw away clothes just because like that I got stains on them. Then I was just like, "There's no way this is getting out," and that's always sucks because you're like, it always seems to happen to the clothes that you like. Yeah. It's never the clothes that you don't like.
Yeah, and you know what's so weird? I was saying, it was raining, and I have a jacket that's like kind of my rain jacket that I really love. Luckily, I had taken off to get into the car, so it wasn't on me when I pumped the gas, because I would have been really sad if I had to lose that. Yeah. So anyway, go about my day. I'm like, I still smell like gasoline, but I'm like, I'm just gonna go run to the store. I have like 5 things to pick up, and then I'll go home and shower and get this all off of me. So I walk into Pavilions, and as I'm like turning a corner, like where the way that they have it set up, there's like the deli and the bakery all along the one side where they have all the baked goods, all the meats, whatever. I turn the corner and I see this man dressed as, and I wish I should have looked up his name, full head to toe. This is January, 22nd. Looks like the guy from Ratatouille. Not the rat.
The chef?
The chef with a little rat sitting on his shoulder. Full costume, this guy.
An actual rat or a fake rat?
Fake rat, like one that you'd get at Disney now. They sell these like things that you could put on your shoulders, like from Star Wars, whatever. That rat's name is Remy. I know that, but I don't know what the main man's name is. And I just kind of look, and he goes, "Can I help you find anything?" And I was just stopped in my tracks, like completely. It was just a bizarre sight to see. And I go, "No, I'm okay." I go to the front when I'm checking out, and I go, is there like a, because nobody dressed up like this. No, and it's dead. Like nobody's shopping right now. It's raining, whatever. And the woman goes, "Oh no, he just comes in like that every once in a while." Like that's not a reason.
Did the guy who was dressed, did he ask you if there's anything he could help you with?
Yes. He was a worker. He's a store employee.
Well, did he watch the end of the movie Ratatouille?
Tamar?
Where the restaurant gets shut down because of all the rats?
Is that how it ends?
Yeah, but then they open up another restaurant.
I know, but Lauri, argue with me.
I didn't.
I'm just saying the end of the movie is not that the restaurant. It's not that a restaurant gets shut down and then that's the end of the movie.
There's a plot point in Ratatouille where the restaurant gets shut down because of all these rats.
Yes.
Oh my God. I haven't seen it in a while. I guess I didn't ask him if he remembered the plot.
A lot of weaving into stories here with
rats,
circumcision and rats. Because I'm going to say this. There's a certain person at a school for special ed kids in Southern California who it wouldn't be unusual for that person to show with a rat in her shoulder.
I wish I could decipher this code.
I tried to do like a Ratatouille, but with teaching, and it did not work.
It's more like
I got
Willard.
mites all over my face.
Where she blew a flute and all of them came Piper. Hey, Star. Did she go get... Also, I know she can't hear me, but Star said, I don't want to reveal her age, but I would have guessed her like 8 years younger than what she told us.
Yeah, she's very like hip and cool, and she always has like the latest styles, and so everyone always assumes that she's younger.
Yeah.
And that I'm older.
See, I don't think you're older. I just thought she was vastly younger.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jay.
So then I get home, I shower, I rinse, and then happens my reading. I won't go through the entire thing, but I did 30 minutes first, and then Sam did it, and we tried to give each other privacy with like the headphones and whatever, but Pam was like I kind of gave you the gist. She wants me to manifest. She said the main thing I need to do is go to parties. Like she said, I see you have to really network and really build. You're working on stuff and you're ready. Your spirit guides are telling me that you're ready for the next thing and you're going to have a really great February, whatever that means. And that you have a partner who is... he wants you to succeed as well, and he's going to have a good year, and you two are going to be a very powerful couple.
Wow.
But if you go to parties, he's going to talk you up and make this connection for something.
Wait, first of all, stop. Paul, talk. Full stop.
Last night we had his old coworker had a birthday party, and it was a dinner party of 20 people. And it was a very like the dinner party runs from 4 to 9, like come whenever, but dinner it was a crab. Her friend from San Francisco was coming down cooking crab and a bunch of side dishes. And so dinner was at 6. So be there by at least 6 o'clock. Well, we're sitting and it was assigned seating. As we're leaving, Paul's talking to this woman who I've never met before, but he goes, "Oh, Jake, come over here. This is Britt. She works for, I'm not going to say the company." And I told her, like, you have some Instagram numbers and she wants to exchange information because there's a campaign possibly coming up that they could use you for because they're looking to expand their influencer market. So Pam was right.
Ooh.
Pam
not
worked
quite
for
February, but you know.
NSYNC.
Yeah, it was Justin Timberlake and they were talking.
It was for Top Ramen.
Yeah, Maru-chan.
Yeah.
I honestly, by now, I should have a sponsorship with them. I don't know why. I should tag them. Maybe that's the trick to it. But
I think what you're saying, what we have to do right now, Jay, is we have to do a reading for Lauri. So I'm gonna go get my tarot cards.
oh, I'd love that.
No.
I'll be right back.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Even if,
I'm good.
Laura, like, what if it, and the way, Joe's, I think he is going to go get it. The way I look at it is, even if it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy or it like puts a seed of thought, like she told me that there's projects like the number 5 is important. And I have written spec scripts. I have 2 original pilots and a feature that I'm working on. And if anything, she goes, this is like the area that I think you need to focus on. And if anything, it's really kind of drawn me to that project more because I put it to the side and it was a motivation thing. I don't know if that's anything that's interesting to you, but it is almost a self-fulfilling prophecy where I'm like, well, Pam said I should be working on this, so maybe I should. It was almost like a therapy.
I could just go to therapy.
True.
That's what I
true.
do.
Yeah. And do you feel like that motivates you into a direction of something that you need?
Yeah.
That's good. Now, Joe, can you get this via Riverside? Do you think it's going to translate?
Yeah. So okay. I have here, I have several, I love collecting tarot decks, but I just got the original one because I also have the book. I want to get that. Have you seen those tarot training decks that they have?
No.
I think I want to get it because they have the stuff printed on the card. But I also have the manual right here, so we can look it up with this. And we'll just do like a simple reading for Lauri.
Is there I always say like, because I like when I met with Pam, she said, is there a purpose? And I said, I always like to hear about career because I feel like I'm constantly on the go with career. So I always would like to know which direction we're heading in. Is that something that Lauri needs to clarify?
Is that what you want to know, Lauri? What do you want to know?
Yeah, I want to be the premier ballerina of the Russian ballet.
Well, I can already tell you.
Signs are looking good.
So let's actually... she doesn't want to play, Jay, so why don't we do one for her?
Sure.
What do you think we should ask about, Jay?
I'd say like the marriage is coming up.
The basic...
I genuinely want to be the premier ballerina of the Russian ballet. If you're a professional tarot card reader, you should be able to figure out how to get that to happen.
That's not what happens in a tarot card reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm writing a screenplay and I need you, Lauri, and it's about a Russian ballerina.
Yeah.
Would that count?
Maybe.
So I'm cutting the deck. Lauri, tell me when to stop. No, she'll never say when, so I'll just stop. Right. She'll pull a Paul at the Magic Council.
I'll say stop.
Okay.
When have you done it already?
I'm cutting right now.
Okay, stop.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do the basic past, present, and future. Okay.
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 And Lauri, I want you to really open your mind and really be honest with this.
I'll do it for her. So let's see. So I'm gonna turn over the past card. And
you realize these are just cards. I could do this with a deck of cards and make
yes, you could actually.
Too.
They do correspond. Okay. So let me look up the Knight of Cups is what I got for the past, and it was up. And it was an upright
Knight of Cups.
Knight of Cups. Okay, upright Knight of Cups. Let's see, Knight of Cups. Here it is. Okay, the upright Knight of Cups. Appearance, advance, invitation, present. Okay. The Knight of Cups appears in a spread to let you know a message or invitation is on the way. Arrival is imminent. Now, this is the past. High praise will help you advance toward your objective. Remember, you can always collect more flies with honey. Oh, interesting.
I think Lauri has said that exact term on one of our episodes of the tea.
Yeah. Now, I will say for the present, she has an upside down King of Pentacles. Upside down King of Pentacles.
That's a good one.
Not the King of Pentacles.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
upside reverse. It means manipulative or overbearing.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh. Also, just FYI, I firmly believe Joe is just choosing these cards. He's not actually.
No, they're right here in front of me.
Sure. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna order. This is what for the next episode of the tea. I'm gonna order the training deck. I want it anyway, right? And I have an overhead camera. And you can watch me. But I didn't plug it into Riverside first. You know how that is with Riverside. So I will plug it into Riverside, and then you guys will watch me deal those tarot cards. So we will do a reading.
Can you read yourself? Like them shoulders should match the hips.
Yeah. What was the one? Are you going to a cookout because that grill is? What is the one that she did for? What's the one she did for Raven about the?
Are you talking about Jujubee?
Jujubee on Raven about the. I feel like for some reason the word ham was in it. I don't remember.
Oh, after sex she smokes ham, but I
don't remember.
That was Sharon though.
There was some weird one she had for people. The afterthoughts are like, yeah, she said that.
Yeah, I don't remember that one specifically.
Okay. So
Juju always has good reads though.
Yeah. Let's end it there. Well, we're going to do a tarot card reading next week, but we have a lot to get to with Lauri anyway. Lauri has a lot of content to cover.
Hey everyone, it's me, AI Lauri. And I'm just breaking in to say that Joe called me to say if he could edit out my story about Star's grandpa's 90th birthday cake because the story just wasn't up to par. And I said, sure, I don't care. And so he cut it out. I don't know why I was okay with that story being edited out, but I didn't ask him to edit out all the times he mentioned how I make out with my brother all the time, which I do, that my dad and my Aunt Julie are fucking, which they are, and that in 2006 I went on a racist comedy tour, which I did, but I've never asked him to edit this out. But I was strangely okay with him editing this story out. Anyway, we'll try it again next time. AI Lauri, goodbye.
That's right. Lauri's seen my therapist now. We're seeing Lauri post-therapy now. She's like, well, I guess,
No, I haven't talked to her since the intake.
Was that her choice or yours?
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to need some time. Yeah. I need time.
Yeah. Maybe circle back in 2025.
Yeah. No, I think we're talking this Friday.
Oh, okay.
Is my
virtually.
Next session. Over the phone.
Can I ask your therapy question? How honest are you? Do you let it all hang out, or are you kind of shielding a little bit of the stories?
To be honest with you, okay.
Here we go.
I do this weird thing with therapy.
Good question,
Jay. Where I will at times fabricate stories just to see if they're paying attention or if they are asking the right questions, and then if they don't do what I want them to do, then I'll end therapy. I'll deem it unnecessary.
Wait.
That's the answer I
What do
expected.
you want them to do?
I want them to be like, I don't think this is real. I don't think this is. I think you're not telling the full story.
But Lauri, here's the problem. If it was Jay doing this, which first of all, that would be crazy, so Jay would never do that. This is crazy. I would make sense. But your real life stories sound not real.
But that's only if I'm like with the therapist that I had before, like that's only if I'm like tired of, like I won't do that to this new therapist yet because we haven't really gotten to know each
Oh,
other.
we've only done the intake.
okay.
So
Yeah.
it's only like if I feel like they're not really paying attention or they're not, like with the therapist I had before, like I went on this whole thing about, my dad and my Aunt Julie dating and made that up.
Lauri!
And she was like, oh, well, I mean, it seems like they really, really like each other. And then I was like, she's not paying attention.
Because they are dating, Lauri.
They're not dating. No, they're not. They would never date.
Lauri's like, I made up this fake story about...
I made this fake story, one that you've touched on.
And then what was so funny is, so then I'm like, I don't like her, right? And then Star keeps saying like, and I'm telling her all these other things that are like real stories that I'll tell her, and she's like, not giving me good advice. So I was like, you need to stop. And then, or you need to stop seeing her. And then what was so funny was, so Kaiser is different with therapy.
Kaiser's our medical
therapy,
insurance.
Yeah, Kaiser's therapy is more, it's almost like a goal-based. So, for example, let's say I came to therapy and I said, I have anxiety revolving around my job. Well, Kaiser would say, okay, we're planning about 6 to 7 weeks of therapy where we're going to focus on that. And then at the end of those 6 to 7 weeks, if we feel like you are still needing therapy, we'll continue. If not, we'll graduate you. And then you'll be done.
Cap and gown.
And yeah, and then you'll be done. Yeah. And then, if you have other therapy needs, you would have to, make a new appointment and see if I'm available or whatever. So my thing was road rage. That was sort of why I was there for therapy was anger issues, but primarily focused on road rage. Mm-hmm. So she was sort of like, we've talked about your road rage, I feel like now we're veering to other topics. So next session, we're going to have a talk about how, about where you're at and whether or not you should be graduated. Mm-hmm. And, if not, then what our next steps are. So I felt like that was definitely like I'm going to break up with you sort of talk where she's like, next session, I'm going to tell you, you've graduated and moved on. So then I just called and ended the therapy because I was like, I'm not going to sit through a whole entire session for her to be like, we're done, Mm-hmm. So...
Are you talking about yourself in therapy, or are you bringing up stories like my dad installed a Tesla charger in his garage, but he doesn't own a Tesla? Like, what's kind of like, are you talking about yourself?
Yeah. No, I talk about mostly my stuff. If I have things that frustrate me about my family, it'll be something that has frustrated me, like involves me. So like a lot of times it'll be like, like my Aunt Kathy is a very hot and cold person. So like sometimes when I'll call her, no, like emotionally. Oh. So sometimes when I'll call her,
the hot part,
she'll be very like distant and kind of like mean and condescending for no reason. Mm-hmm. And I get like very frustrated because I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, no, my aunt will be like, nothing's wrong.
This is Kathy.
And then, yeah. And then, so then I would say that to this therapist, not this new one I have, but the last one I had, and she would go, well, that's just who she is. And then that was it. She was, I felt like she never really offered anything, so that was about it.
Well, I think it sounds like you're going, it's an auspicious beginning for you and Maritza, yes. The new therapist. And
is she attractive, the therapist?
I mean, I don't find her attractive, but she's a very pretty woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very nice.
Anyway, Lauri, do you want to tell this? You said you had some. Well, I have a couple stories I want to ask about, but we can do them as quick as you want them.
Okay.
She wanted to talk about a circumcision. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So Star and I were at her friend's house, and I went to use the bath. Star had used the bathroom previously, and I went to use the bathroom. Mm-hmm. and there was a step that I didn't realize that stepped down, and I didn't realize that there was a step there, and I kind of like fell and
in your home
tripped.
Oh.
No, in her at her friend's house.
Oh, okay.
And I tripped and fell and slammed into like a shelf. So
where's that glass breaking?
And I personally feel that Star should have said, "Hey, there's a step there," but Star's like, "I can't be in charge." Star's like, "I can't be in charge of you. You should be able to look out when there's a step." So
this will shock no one, but I do side with Star on this one. It's not her responsibility to be your mentor and guide.
Wait, what was Lauri's request? I was too busy looking for that cartoon fall. What was Lauri's request?
Oh, I was saying that Star should have said, "Hey, there's a step there," just so you know.
Wait, what? Is Star going to be in front of you with like a lantern?
That's what she was saying. She's like, "Should I?
Yeah.
Should I be navigating the entire time?" And I was like, "I don't know what to. I just feel like if I knew Star, I would warn her that there was a step there."
I do sometimes get this gut feeling of warning people when something is there, but sometimes I don't always. But sometimes if there's a step, I'll say, "Oh, watch the step here." But it's just a feeling that I have to warn people, and sometimes I'll get the, "Oh, I would have missed it" or something. Like there is something that tells me to say something.
I know what you're talking about, but I always, because I'm always trying to, believe it or not, real Joe is like this. I always don't want people to think that I'm telling them what to do or something. So I will go like, "Oh, I almost," even though I didn't, "I almost missed this step. You should watch out for this step." I always make it seem like I'm a dummy, so I don't want you to be a dummy like me.
Now, I've seen Joe in person when this happens, and he really lays it on thick. He does a full masterclass of Charlie Chaplin level of like, "Whoa, I almost fell there. You guys should really watch your step." Really commits. And then a house behind him falls, and he's in the window where, like, right where it would normally hit.
Was that Buster Keaton? Like a Buster Keaton, silent movie.
Yeah.
I have to do that at work a lot, because I find that if I, like, for example, I had confirmed with an assistant principal that they were going to do something, and then they didn't do it, and I reached out to the assistant principal and I said, "Oh, you had said in the beginning of the year you were going to do this. I have the email and it didn't get done. Can you please do it now?"
What?
And the assistant principal was like, "I never agreed to this. This didn't happen." So, and even though I had forwarded them the email that said that they were going to do it, and I said that the previous email shared that you were going to do it, that you said you were, and this was like back in October or whatever. So then, going forward, what I've done is if somebody makes, like, something happens and I have the email to prove it, I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I should have followed up," or I should, so if I like apologize first and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this was my," then the people are more willing to fix the problem, and isn't a back and forth where it's like, it's not my fault, it's your fault.
Would you say that you catch more flies with honey? Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Technically, you catch more flies with poop, but yes.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna bow to you on that one. You would know. You would know.
Watch your step getting out of that bathroom. By the way.
So the other day,
did you get hurt? I don't want to make fun of you. Did you fall and hurt?
Yeah,
I got bruised. Yeah, I bruise easily, but I did get a
Princess
big bruise, and I was sore for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, right after Christmas, right after the New Year, the week of the New Year, Lauri and Star call me. Every time they call me, there's some new adventure, right?
Yeah.
And Lauri is so fucking upset. She's so upset.
This is like Three's Company.
It really is. She calls me. She's like, "Star and I just went to my classroom to clean it before the kids come, and there's fucking rat poop everywhere. The rats have come into my classroom." I go, "That's weird. They just randomly came in my classroom." I go, "That's weird because why would they go there unless there's food in the class?" She goes, "Oh, yeah. I have bags of protein shakes or something."
I had one bag
and she goes,
of a protein powder.
And they got into it and they spread it all over the place. I'm like...
And they like clawed it open.
Were there any Uncrustables in the vicinity of the room?
No, they ate them.
No, and they got all over and they like spread it all over the classroom. So there's powder and rat poop and pee all over the classroom, right?
Pee?
So
and that was just from Lauri.
That's my fault. But on the other hand, we do have a rat problem. We do have a rat
no
problem.
evidence.
So,
Evidence pending, but I think they're there.
Yeah, the janitor was like, Lauri, I think you have a rat problem. There was poop and piss everywhere and
Lauri's
torn
like,
open packages of Uncrustables.
Yes.
And she was like,
rats.
yes, rat problem.
Let me write an email.
Yeah,
So
I think you're right.
So I've emailed several times
Yeah.
to have
The rat
people
department.
like
Better Business Bureau.
I've emailed the janitor. I've emailed the principal secretary. I've emailed admin. I've emailed as many people as I possibly can to have
Parents.
the rat problem looked into.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything. They came in and they swept,
Yeah.
but they didn't clean the floors. So I finally asked somebody to clean the floors, and they said they would come, and they still haven't come.
Wait, swept as in they cleaned up the powder and the rat poop.
We did. We sweeped everything up, but
Who's
we didn't have any. Star and I.
Mm-hmm.
We cleaned it. We didn't have any disinfectant. So we haven't disinfected the floors yet. So I've been asking them to please come and disinfect the floors, and they haven't done it. They've swept.
Did you photograph?
Yes. I photographed everything. I sent it to them. I said, please come. It's been 3 weeks now. Now we're going on the 4th week. And they still haven't done it. And I have to send an email again on Monday saying, look, and then also last week I said, I took a screenshot of all the diseases you can get from being in contact with rat feces and rat poop. And I say,
let me ask you a question. Have they ended the rat problem?
No.
Okay.
So I say, I said, I have students who have low, or who are susceptible to diseases. I have students who, have a lot of health issues, and I need you to disinfect the floors. And they have yet to do it. They have not cleaned the floors. So, Monday I'm sending an email saying, look, guys, you continue. I come in every morning and there's rat poop all over the floor. I have to sweep it up. I am begging you to get some rat traps, deal with the rat problem, disinfect the floors, or I'll be forced to contact my union rep and say that this is an unsafe work environment.
Jay wants to say something.
I have 2 questions. Was there any conversation before Christmas break or holiday break to say, please don't leave any food items or anything in the classroom that could cause...
They said keep anything in a sealed container. So I thought the bag was good because it was sealed. It hadn't been opened. So, but they were able to get to it. So now I have the only food. No, it's not paper. It's plastic. It's a hard plastic.
My second question, follow-up. Is there currently still food in your classroom?
That was one of my questions.
There is, but I have brought a fridge in, and I have locks on the fridge. So any food is in the fridge.
Man. Ricky, he is a master lockpick. What are you keeping in that refrigerator?
I don't have, just yogurts.
Yeah, we don't like it. Bring more Uncrustables. And some of that protein powder you've been keeping around. And listen here, lady.
the rat's all swole. Like,
yeah, he's like, listen.
Listen,
we're
bitch.
going to be walking all over that floor of yours, leaving our rat germs. And you're not going to say a fucking word. You know that? Listen to me.
I'm intercepting those emails.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the Twilight Zone twist is Lauri goes, that's it. I'm going to march up to the administration. And they're all rats. Everyone works at the school is a rat. The janitor is a rat.
Yeah, they pull off a mask and it's just a rat face.
Yeah, it's like ding, 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 ding.
And Lauri goes, I saw the tails, but I didn't think twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
man.
And then you see the flash of the outside school. It says like school for rats, Remy school for rats or whatever it is.
My other job is I work at pavilions.
Yeah.
My advice is, I do think that you could keep on them to clean, but also I think removing all food products or anything would be probably a good way to get them out of your room just on your own if you can do that. I know that the fridge, technically, you don't think they should be able to get in, and there's no other dry item food out.
No.
Okay. That's tough.
Yeah, I agree with Jay.
Yeah.
It's probably for the time being, it's good to have no food in the house, in the room whatsoever.
Because they're not going to come back for nothing.
And yeah, they're not if they have nothing to come back for. They would not be there.
No, the problem is that school needs to get rid of the rats. Like, that is the thing. So anyway, so Joe's making fun of me because we have this big audit going on where we have to, these people come in and they interview teachers and we do group sessions and we talk about stuff and we have to fill out this big survey, which it mostly focuses on our curriculum and how we translate it to the classroom, right? Mm-hmm. And SPED teachers really aren't too involved. We have a lot of pressure taken off of us because it's really about kid performance, and our kids don't necessarily always perform because, they have a lot of other issues. So it's actually really nice because you get to sort of just be in these groups, but you don't have to worry about anything reflecting on you. For example, like math, the math department has to basically like justify their curriculum and how it's working. And the science department has to do that. And I just sort of get to sit there and just be like, me and this other teacher who are in the science department, we don't have to do anything. Mm-hmm. So it's nice. But on top of that, we still have to fill out all the paperwork. And so I filled out the survey. And I filled it out honestly, like they asked us questions and I would answer them. But then the very last sentence at the very end, I would say, but the constant rat poop and pee is making it difficult to teach in the classroom. And that was every single question that they asked. So
I just feel like, look, I care about you, Lauri, in the same way that I care about, Jay or somebody else. Like, no more, no less. Because Lauri always gets the wrong idea. She thinks we're dating all the time.
We're best friends.
And and I just don't. I want to see you offered a contract for next year.
Yes, I do too. Look, I told Star and her stepdad have been wanting to call the school and say that they're going to file a complaint against the school if we don't clean my classroom. And they keep saying they want to do that, and they're going to like, oh, don't worry, we're going to be anonymous. We're going to be anonymous about it. And I'm like, they'll know who they're talking about. It's my classroom.
They'll follow the rat tracks back to you.
Yeah.
When will you find out about the offer for next year?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So it's a little topsy-turvy because the assistant principal who was doing our evaluations.
Yeah.
So we have a he got eaten by rats. No.
I was going to say he was busy working out on his treadmill thing that spins around. Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, so he got moved to another school. Mm-hmm. And so for the remainder of this year, so he's not going to be back till next year. Mm. So we haven't gotten any word on on who's going to be our new evaluator. And I think they have to let us know by I think March is the time frame. They have to let you know. And they may even let us know sooner than that, but I think they have to let you know by March.
I imagine that actually works in your favor because it'll probably just be, we don't know if we can do this, so we'll just ask everyone back.
Well, I mean, last year they had some big behavior issues with some teachers. I mean, shockingly, I was the least crazy of the of the group of teachers. So they've had some big behavioral. We had one teacher who called a student. He told a student, if anyone was going to come and shoot up the school, I think it would be you.
Oh my!
Like, we had another teacher.
The kid slowly puts his gun away out of embarrassment. He's like,
oh no.
He knows.
We had another teacher who had a nervous breakdown one day and just locked the students out of the classroom, refused to let students in the classroom.
Huh. Was it over a chair?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
No, she just refused to let students in the classroom. And then after that, so she had there's certain classrooms where they have a room in the classroom. It's like separated by a door. Mm-hmm. So they said you have to let the students in the classroom. So she let the kids in the classroom, and then she went in the other room, locked the door, and refused to come out. So
again,
I don't think we need tarot cards to see that. That's in someone's future.
No. I don't have a room like that in my classroom.
Unfortunately,
that's what's stopping her.
Yeah, that's the hang up.
Yeah.
We got to get the rat czar who helped clear out New York out in California. It sounds like.
I know, seriously. So and then we had another teacher who basically said, I'm not going to say what race, but she basically was like, I don't like this race. I don't like these students.
She told you that
I'm not
personally?
going to help them. No, she told the kids. Oh. Mm-hmm. She said, I don't like certain kids from this race. So I'm not going to do anything to help you. Maybe.
That's what Lauri tells me all the time. All right, well, why don't... Ooh, loud.
I forgot to tell my circumcision story.
Oh.
All right. I'll save it till...
Yeah, can we save it for the next... I mean, we're at an hour, and we've been recording for 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, guys, we're going to call it a day there. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I had a half-hour story about cake. I know, I need a nap. Jay talked for 20 minutes straight about Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That was the highlight of my day.
Yeah. So we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys next time right here on The Tea.